Welcome to this edition of Council in the Community. My name is Paul Cashman. I represent South Denver District 6 on Denver City Council. Today we are in the heart of South Denver at Sunny Bug Farmette with Donna Baker Brenningstall and Orvin Brenningstall to talk about the great work they're doing to help feed our community. Donna, let me start with you. You want to tell us what goes on here at Sunny Bug?
Well, lots of things. I'm growing food, and I've been growing food for about 13 years or so. So I have raised beds where I have vegetables, and the type of vegetables I grow change somewhat from year to year, but I usually grow 8 to 10 different varieties. And then I have a small orchard where I have some fruit trees. So veggies and fruit, and everything goes to the local food pantry.
Yeah, I was guessing you and Orvin didn't consume all that by yourselves.
No, she starts early in the year with rhubarb, taking rhubarb to the food pantry,
yeah.
and then lasts all summer long and into the fall. I forgot the amount. How much have you
it
contributed?
As far as the amount, it changes from year to year, anywhere from 400 pounds on up. It just depends from year to year. But there are a couple different food pantries that I've been donating to for 12 years, 12 or 13 years.
Do you want to mention who they are?
Yeah, so the one is local here, and it happens to be a church, and they just open it up as a food pantry every Friday morning, and it's the University Church of Christ. It's on Milwaukee, between Evans and Bucktel. And so if anybody has produce that they would like to donate, that would be a good place to donate Friday mornings. And then I also donate to the Table Urban Gardens, and that is down off of Evans and Platte River. So I have some specific things I'm growing for the Table. They asked me, could you grow these sorts of things this year? And so I say, yep. Sure, yeah.
Where'd this passion for feeding the community come from? Where did it emanate?
I think originally, Paul, it came from when I was working at Ellis Elementary School. I was hired to teach reading there, and they had a local garden, community garden, and I realized that none of the kids in the school had been in the community garden on their property. And I thought that we need to change that. We need to get the kids in this garden. So I had a good relationship with all the teachers there and asked if I could take small groups of kids out to the garden. And the kids in this school come from 20 plus different countries. And a lot of the kids lived in apartments and high-rises, and they didn't have access to being able to grow their own food. And I realized there was a need for fresh food and for the knowledge of where our food comes from. And a lot of the kids, if I would say, well, where's your food coming from? Or, just in a conversation, they would say, well, King Soopers or 7-Eleven. And so there was a disconnect between what they were eating and their knowledge of food. And so I decided to get the kids into the community garden, and that was a wonderful experience for me too. Slow Food Denver, at the same time, this was about 15 years ago, decided to start a program called Garden to Cafeteria program, where schools who had gardens could harvest that food in the garden and bring it into the cafeteria and serve it to the kids. So, yeah.
Orvin, were you just dragged along into this, or is that passion for good food and helping others part of your spirit as well?
Donna's the gardener, but I like to cook. And so we've gotten involved with Mutual Aid Monday. Really? So on Mondays, I cook. I make enough food for probably 50 people. And Donna and I take it down there and serve the homeless that come through. Mutual Aid Mondays located outside the City Council building downtown every Monday. And we've been going every Monday to help them with food. And sometimes they have a lot of food and sometimes they don't have very much. But I enjoy cooking, and so I like being able to make something for the homeless and then serve it to them at Mutual Aid Monday.
That's a great match. Mutual Aid Monday does great work. And you, Donna gave a great segue. Tell me about slow food.
So slow food was started in Italy in the 1980s as a backlash when there was a town outside of Rome rather, that McDonald's wanted to put a restaurant. And when the town got word that McDonald's wanted to come in, they did a protest. And they said, we do not want fast food. We are all about slow food. And so they did a march, a protest march, and all about slow food. And so that was the beginning of the slow food movement. And today there are about 150 slow food chapters around the United States and the world. There are chapters in different countries around the world. And so I've been a volunteer for years and years and years, and I'm now on the board and feel that people are learning how important it is to slow down, cook your food, sit down with your family, sit down with your friends, and kind of rejoice just being together over a cooked meal. And they have a lot of different tenets, but enjoying homemade food is probably one of the most important aspects of slow food.
It's a great way to build community.
Yeah, I think that's why Mutual Aid Monday is so important too, because so many people bring down food that they make at home to give to the homeless. And I think that's probably one of the only times that they get homemade food during the week or wherever else. We see a lot of the same people coming through every week. So I think it's important to them.
What type of food do you bring down with you? Give me
Well,
an example.
let's see. I've made meatballs and rice with tomato sauce, and I've made something with quinoa. The quinoa doesn't go over very big, but and I've made macaroni salad. Macaroni salads, they seem to like that a lot. There's a lot of people seem to go for that.
Yeah, home cooked food is going to go over big at Mutual Aid.
Yeah, we do like to bring down fruit also. We'll bring down cuties, tangerines, apples, watermelon. Fruit is, I think, really well received also.
Yeah. Now, you had a wonderful fundraiser here just a week or two ago. Was that a slow food event?
That was a slow food event. We celebrated our 25th anniversary here in Denver, slow food, and we decided to do a bake sale, and it was great fun. We had over 20 different organizations and home bakers that contributed to the bake sale. We also had a coffee cart, and we had music. We had the grinding of wheat into local flour, and we had an art activity. So it was kind of a fun event. You were there. Thank you so much for joining us.
And I went home with a couple of the best chocolate chip cookies I've ever had in my life. Somebody did a great job cooking that day, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Would you like to let folks know where the name Sunny Bug comes from?
So Sunny Bug comes from our daughter, Sunia. and Sunia passed away, sadly, in 2020. And she gave her nickname, Sunny Bug, because she loved insects, she loved animals, she loved nature, and she gave herself the name Sunny Bug. And so to honor her memory, we decided to name our place the Sunny Bug Farmette.
Yeah, well, I had the pleasure of meeting Sunny Bug a few times and thought she deserved the honor of being on camera along with the two of you. What else would you like to tell us about food and what you're doing, what others are doing, what the need is in Denver?
There's such a great need. 1 in 10 Americans are food insecure. It's unbelievable considering 40% of our food is wasted. There are quite a few organizations here in Denver where home gardeners can donate. So many home gardeners produce a lot of food, more food than they can use. Zucchinis in particular, sometimes tomatoes or beans, and there are food pantries that would welcome the extra if gardeners would like to donate them.
Sometimes we see people who have gardens and they produce more than they can use, and they'll just put the zucchini out on the street and say free or something like that. But it could probably be better used at the food pantry or down at Mutual Aid Monday or something like that. And it's really easy to find a food pantry in the neighborhood that you could give that to, and the people really appreciate it.
There's a couple of places in particular I'd like to mention. Fresh Food Connect is a local organization that has an app. You can get their app and you can donate through that app, and depending on where you're located, they can even come and pick up your produce. So Fresh Food Connect. Also, there's a small nonprofit called the Blue Door Urban Garden, and it's in the Wash Park area, and they will accept any of your produce that you're no longer going to use. There are a number of other organizations. 211 is a Colorado number that you can put into your computer, and they'll bring up a map and you can search for food pantries. They have a map where the different food pantries around Denver are. So just depending on where you're located.
Yeah, and I'll just take this opportunity to mention a couple in District 6. You mentioned Ellis Elementary is now served by the Love Project, LOVVE, for Virginia Village, taking care of a few hundred families in need of good food. And then the South High Giving Grocery takes care of the students and their families, and they get a good crowd every time they open their doors.
Yeah. Well, you were here for the South
For their
High
fundraiser.
Giving Grocery fundraiser that we did here. Last year,
You
I
bet.
think. Yeah,
You bet.
when they had a shortfall in their grant,
Yeah.
and we were able to kind of shore that grant up a little bit, which was great. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for taking time to talk to us. Thank you for what you do to get people fed that may not be able to get it done by themselves. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you
Thank you.
so
Thanks
much,
for
Paul.
coming.
Thank you.